Hi, I'm Bill Lampton, the Biz Communication Guy. I work with companies to help them identify and solve their communication problems. I've had the privilege of working with major corporations, Gillette, Duracell, Procter & Gamble, the Ritz-Carlton, Cancun, British Columbia Legal Management Association, and a good number of others. Not just the largest ones either. Moderate and medium-sized companies. I've worked with them very closely as well. Additionally, I, as the Biz Communication Guy, help leaders develop their speaking skills so that they can present their ideas clearly, convincingly, and persuasively. Today, I'm thinking about all the people who are, as we call it these days, in transition, and many of them in surprising fashion. Many of you might have thought that you had a job for a lifetime. And when some of us were growing up, that was the case. But that is no longer the case. We are quite familiar now with layoffs, downsizing, mergers, reduction in the workforce, whatever you want to call it. We are losing jobs. This means that interviews for jobs become very critical in our professional advancement. And what happens is that there are a good number of people who haven't done a job interview in a good number of years. They haven't had to. They were satisfied where they were. They expected to stay there. I'm addressing the people who wonder, what is the best thing I can do to prepare for a job interview? One of my most pleasant working experiences ever was directing an entire day session on how to interview. I did this for the Environmental Protection Agency at their office in Dallas, Texas. This remains a major interest of mine, helping people interview well so that they get the job that fits the niche they want and maximizes the skills and the training that they have. So, again, people ask me, what's the best way to prepare for an interview? There are a lot of things that you would read when you browse articles and books about interviewing that talk about getting a good resume. Have somebody who does that professionally help you with that. I agree with that. Also, getting a good list of references and testimonials. These are standard. However, there's a matter that I think is not addressed often enough, and that's what I'll talk about for a couple of minutes. What values most is the way that you talk to yourself before you talk to any interviewer. I read a good number of years ago Shad Helmstetter's terrific book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. I refer to this book often. I quote it in my seminars, my speaking, and my coaching. Now, some people might say, I don't talk to myself, but we do. Even if the words are not allowed, we talk to ourselves. Let's contrast the different ways that we could talk to ourselves going into an interview. Here's the negative way. The negative way would be, this suit of mine is old. It won't make a very good impression, and my level of education, some of the other candidates are going to have more than I do. My experience, gosh, I got a couple of 3 years to talk about. There's some people applying who may have a dozen to 15 years in this area that we're competing in. And so we go in with that mindset. What chance do we have of impressing anybody else if we haven't really impressed ourselves? So, before your next interview, use positive self-talk. And to contrast it with what we've just said, Well, number one, this suit of mine is not something that I bought in the last year or two, but I wear it well. It fits. I had it cleaned a couple of weeks ago. I'll be just as impressive as somebody who walks in there with a new $400 suit. My education? Oh, sure. Well, I didn't go to one of the most prestigious schools and I didn't get the highest degrees, but I do have a degree and I know how to use it, and I can talk about my field of study very clearly. And then again, my experience. Some people have a lot of experience, but has theirs been a growing learning period where they kept getting new skills, learning new strategies, and implementing new programs? So, this is the kind of talk that we need to say to ourselves before we go into an interview. Keep that in mind. And the next time you have an interview, be very kind to yourself. Be your own best friend. Be supportive. And the response that you get will be a tenfold improvement over what you would get with negative self-talk. Thanks very much for being with me today. I invite you to visit my website, Biz Communication, that's B-I-Z, bizcommunicationguy.com. And also, after looking at my website where you see the services that I offer, give me a call and let's talk about how I can serve you and your organization. My number, 678-316-4300. Already looking forward to our next Facebook Live conversation. Time to hit the old finish button. I'm Bill Lampton.